On today's episode of the Doug Zone 503 podcast, I'm going to give my recap and analysis on the Oregon football spring game. My name is Dominic Peterson. I'm the host of the Doug Zone 503 podcast, where we talk all things Oregon football. Whether it's your first time viewing or a long time viewer, guys, I kindly ask that you go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button down below. Most importantly, guys, telling your friends and family about the podcast will help grow this podcast the fastest. I honestly do, to the bottom of my heart, really appreciate everybody who goes ahead and subscribes and join the Duck Zone family, because when you subscribe, guys, I really do consider you guys family. I love catching up with the people that watch the videos, that follow on the social medias at Duck Zone 503. I've seen a lot of you guys today at the spring game, took some pictures with you guys, and it means a lot, man. It means a lot. Just it pushes me to keep making content for you guys, going out there to the games and connecting with the Oregon community and all you guys and getting your take on the team. And I just love having conversations about it. You know what I mean? So thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So let's get into it, guys. The recap and analysis of the Oregon spring game 2023 was a hot one for sure. I mean, you guys can kind of see it maybe on my face, but man, I am burnt to the crisp. I was sitting on the north side of the stadium and the sun was just beaming on me, man. And but it was worth it. It was totally worth it. My first spring game ever. I was born and raised here in the state, man. Born here in Portland, Oregon. Always loved the Ducks. Grew up watching the Ducks. And the thing is, man, just my family, my dad, was a big Duck fan. Always kind of lived away in a different state. I lived with my mom here. She wasn't a big Duck fan, didn't really have a lot of money to go traveling to Eugene and go see the game and stuff like that. So, and to be honest with you, I didn't even know there was a spring game until like I was in high school, and then I found out, oh, there's a spring game in the spring. I didn't even know. And until when I was a kid, I wasn't paying attention, you know what I mean? Until I was recent. So I've always wanted to go, always had it on my bucket list. And after this year, I have to do it. It has to be a tradition. It has to be, because man, I'm just an Oregon football fanatic. A lot of you people who go to the spring game or was watching this video, you got to be an Oregon football fanatic if you're watching, worrying about football in the spring, right? It's because we get an opportunity. It's a great opportunity to just see all the Oregon players, all the new players, and trust me, there's a lot this year, that a lot to go see if you're an Oregon fan, to go see those new players, go see the new transfers, go see what the new offense looks like, right? We got a new OC, a lot of new coaches, meet the families, see a lot of recruits that are in town. This is a great recruiting event. Oregon had a bunch of 4 and 5 stars on campus, a bunch of elite athletes. I put the list out on my social media if you guys were checking that out. I think I counted 8 5 stars, 7 or 8 5 stars, somewhere around there. I can't be 100% sure, but it was around 7 or 8. Great weather. It's always good. I mean, we had a long 2 weeks, 3 weeks of rain, and we had some great weather this weekend, so it was awesome. Bring out my dad, my best friend Eddie. I've been friends with my guy Eddie right there since I was 8 years old, guys. So it was awesome to bring him out. I've been to Duck games with him before, and to bring him out to his first spring game. It's been my dad's first spring game, man. Talking about a fan who's been since the 80s, right? Um, to get him out there in the spring game and enjoy the spring game, man, it's going to be a tradition of ours for sure. So it's great to go out there. I had a vlog. If you guys haven't checked out the vlog already, make sure to go see that. It's a great 30-minute vlog, full vlog of the whole day. We had the tailgate in there. We have the game in there. What we did after the game, man, it's an awesome vlog. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. Also, gotta throw a big thank you, man. I was able to get on the field. I stuck around after, and yeah, it was a long time before we get on the field. We had after the game, we had the military thing with the team, and that was a beautiful thing to watch, because as my dad's part of the military. He was in the army, served in Iraq and Afghanistan, and it's great to see all the military members get sworn in during the game, and then after the game, they were able to meet with all the players halfway during the field. They got I think a special Oregon coin, and so some other things from the players, which is always good to see, and see that the University of Oregon just honor veterans. My dad being a veteran, have family who served in other wars, so it's really great to see him honor that and see veterans get some love in this event. Great to see the food donation, give back, Lane County food donation, give a lot of pounds and pounds of food. I think they said over 20,000 pounds of food that we donated, so that's always good. And just got to give a huge thank you to the players, man, for taking the time to take pictures with me. If you guys see me on social media, put out a whole load of pictures. And man, got one with the GOAT, guys. Bo Nix, man. Bo Nix, man. Thank you so much for taking a picture for the bottom of my heart, man. It's a tough picture to get, man. This guy was like surrounded like he was a major celebrity. And he is around here. You know what I mean? Bo Nix, he's a Heisman contender. This is last year here. Everybody wants a piece of the guy, right? And at the spring game, this is your chance to go get it. And I took my chance, man. And it was great to get a picture with him. Really nice guy, really kind, soft-spoken kid, man, and a great leader of the team. So it's going to be good to see what he can do. Again, we got Tez Johnson here in the next picture. Bo Nix's stepbrother. Those two guys were taking pictures with family and stuff like that when I approached him. And luckily enough to get a picture with Tez and Bo. Tez made that big time play today. That was awesome. Mateo Ugiagale, it's another one. The Ugiagale family was there. Big Dave, his father, was there. DJ Ugiagale, the Oregon State quarterback, was there. So it was awesome to see those guys. You know, it was funny because DJ was kind of in the distance. I don't think anybody know that DJ was there. Besides if you're there in person, I didn't see anything in the media about DJ being there. And I kind of look over, I'm just like, yo, DJ. And he looks over. I'm like, yo, DJ, man, go Beavs. He was like, yeah, man, go Beavs. He kind of went like this. I was like, yeah, man, it ain't happening this year. He was like, oh, man, whatever, man. Kind of just chirping at him a little bit. But he was cool, man. Really kind family, the Yagale family. And, man, Mateo is absolutely huge. Now, I'm not a big guy, okay? I'm about 5'6" around there. I'm not big. I'm not tall at all. And this guy is just towering huge, man. I would not want to go heads up with him. And then Austin Novostad, man. Awesome kid. Had him on the channel when he committed. Did a get to know series questionnaire with him on the podcast. So great kid. He's the future of Oregon football. My friend Eddie got a picture with him. So that's going to be awesome to see his development here at Oregon. Cole Martin, son of Demetrius Martin, the DB coach. Yee. You know what I'm saying? Man, Cole Martin made a lot of plays today. Another kid, first kid to commit in the 2023 class. Okay, a lot of people might have forgot that, but joined the class, first kid in that 23 class. He's a real leader in this class, and you see it on the field, man. He's making plays. I think this is a kid who can get play time this year, just with the depth in the backfield and the way he played this spring. And you know, he knows what to expect from his coach, his father, right? And I think this kid's gonna be special, man. Cole Martin's gonna be dope. Marcus Harper, man, got to shout out Marcus Harper. Really appreciate you coming on over. Would have loved to see you play in the game, but man, this is a kid who is going to play, you know, guard, really big dude up front. He could play guard or center. He can move along that offensive line. Going to be a Swiss Army knife for sure. Staying on the O-line here at Johnny Cornelius, man. Johnny Cornelius is a big photo. Really cool to talk to him and get to know him. Wasn't here on the team last year. Wasn't able to really interview him during his recruiting process, but to see him face to face, shake his hand, talk to him. And looks like he can play anywhere from right tackle. That's where he was playing most of the time in the spring today. And then left tackle. And then he also said he could play anywhere on the line. So it's just depending where the coaches want him. So that's awesome. It's always good to have an addition like that to the team. He was highly sought after kid for sure. And his recruitment. And he ended up choosing the Ducks. I think he was like the #1 rated offensive tackle in the transfer portal. So that was great. And then last but not least, man, my guy Preston Alford. Preston Alford was a walk-on, man, that, you know, working hard out of Dripping Spring, Texas. I think he real good friends there with Austin Novostad, who also comes from Texas. So that Texas flock is strong out here in Oregon. It's always good to see walk-on Preston Alford have some friends out here to you know, to go after. And once he seen me, man, he came up right up to me, shook my hand. I love showing love to the walk-on guys, man, because those guys don't get enough love. You know what I mean? They really work hard on the team. And then Coach Locke and Lawrence Hopkins. This was dope. So Coach Locke's the running back coach, and then Lawrence Hopkins is Dante Dowdell's dad. Good to see those guys, meet those guys. Great interaction with those. I seen Coach Locke was like, "What's up?" Knew him, and then for some reason, man, I didn't know who. I knew who Lawrence Hopkins is. I know Dante Dowdell's father, but I just didn't see the name with the face. And Coach Locke was like, "Man, you know who this guy is?" He probably expected me to know who he is, and I froze up. I was like, man, who are you again, man?" It's kind of awkward conversation, but he was like, "Oh man, I'm Lawrence Hopkins, man, Dante Dowdell." I was like, "Oh, that's cool, man. I know who you are, man. Come on now. I know exactly who you are." It's hard to match faces in real life with names when you don't see their face every day. You know what I mean? So, but that was great. We got a picture, exchanged some conversation about Dante Dowdell, man, how he's just a bulldozer. So that was great. Thank you again, guys, for getting those pictures, man. It was awesome to get those on social media and share those with you on the Duck Zone 503 accounts. And like I said, guys, the spring game is just a great opportunity for many Duck fans who don't go to games during the season. Go to Autzen Stadium, get that game day experience, get that football game experience out there. It's awesome, man. And it's really cheap. It's a free event. You got to donate some cans. Parking's like $5-10. It's awesome to get the kids out there to experience it. It was a great time. Last year's spring game, I was really looking at the offensive side of the ball. Last year we were kind of looking at how does Bo Nix versus Ty Thompson look. That was a conversation we're having this year. We kind of know who the guy is, right? We're looking at that Kenny Dillingham offense. Mario Cristobal moves on. What does this offense look like? Oregon fans were wanting a pass first offense. You know what I mean? They wanted to move the ball down the field, and that's what we got, man. Last year, the first play down the field, long pass. It was great. Now this year, coming into this year's spring game, I was looking a lot on the defensive side of the ball. How's that front seven look? How much pressure's getting in there? Are we stopping the run pretty consistently? That Oregon State game towards the end of the year was really bad look for that front seven. There was a lot of turnover in that front seven, a lot of new guys, plus the O-line. You want to talk a lot about new guys. O-line was really fun to watch. What transfers stand out? A whole bunch of transfers are coming in on this team. A lot of freshmen. What guys are standing out in that those prep guys and those transfer guys? What guys are standing out? So this year, that's what I was looking at: the defense, the O-line, and what transfers really stand out. Because we've seen last year a lot of transfers came in. Bo Nix, right? Whittington, Bucky Irving. I mean, these are transfers that had some major additions to the team. So early on, I'm watching the D-line in the front seven in the spring game, and, early on, you see Mace Funa right off the bat, wrecking havoc, knocking down passes. That's what I love to see. I mean, he's getting a real skill from timing those quarterback throws, and it could be just because he knows Ty Thompson and his release and stuff like that and where he's looking. And Ty Thompson kind of has a tendency of staring down where he's going to pass the ball. But, man, Mace Funa early on, 2 knockdown passes that quick. That was great to see. We see in the Washington State game, his knockdown and pass ability come into play. So if he can carry that on to this year and really develop that and make it a specialty, that's going to be awesome. Also loved what I've seen on the interior D line, stuff in those run lanes. That's really the D line's job, right? Stuff those run lanes, be a big body, be a menace in the middle. Taki Tiamani, Casey Rogers, those guys really did a really good job. You didn't see no big runs up the middle. You didn't see none of that. So that's those guys doing their job. So love seeing that. Mateo Ugiagale looks the part. Like I said, I took a picture with him. Big dude, 5-star edge rusher coming in from St. John Bosco, California. And it looks like he can lay the hammer. Got in that backfield, man. Just, was unblocked, got in the backfield, and you seen the hit. And he put that on Dante Dowdell. And Dowdell's a big back. And Mateo just laid the wood on him. Now, given he came unblocked, and it was kind of given for him, but, man, it was awesome to see that hit. I can't wait to see the pair of Jordan Burch, man. I don't think we've seen Jordan Burch in the spring game. That's going to be fun to watch as well. Wide receiver room. Got to talk about the wide receiver room. The wide receiver room is absolutely scary for Oregon. You pair that with Heisman contender Bo Nix returning. He's your leader. He's your everything on offense, right? You need him to stay healthy. Bo Nix with Troy Franklin, your Biletnikoff Award contender. Bo Nix is number wide receiver. They both really showed out this spring game. You knew that was going to happen. Chris Hudson looked like a weapon again. He's going to be dangerous. So Chris Hudson, man, making some plays this spring. Tez Johnson, I didn't know what to expect from him. I like the numbers that I've seen coming from Troy University. I know he has a connection with Bo Nix being his stepbrother. But I did not think I would see the shiftiness and the electric ability of pass after catch. Get the ball in his hands and watch out. We've seen him on a little jet sweep as well. Tez Johnson, man, looks like we need to use him. And this is a big time, wide receiver room. There's a lot of guys. We need to put Tez Johnson on the field because, man, put the ball in his hands and it could be a touchdown at any moment. And the guy's small, man. I stood next to him, met him, had a conversation with him, took a picture with him, and he's not so big. I'm 5'6". I think he was about like 5'9", 5'10", around there. I think he only weighs about 160 pounds. But, man, this guy can move, dude. Watch out when he gets the ball. We've seen it after that pass off Ty Thompson. I had a beautiful video of it, too. It was great. Trayshawn Holden made a few plays as well. He's looking really good. Big long receiver, big target for Bo Nix. Really, really open target. Played at Alabama, looks very comfortable catching the ball. So played big time football in the SEC. So he's gonna do big things here at Oregon. Wide receiver Justice Lowe really impressed me as well. Got to talk about him. Okay, he got involved pretty early, making some plays against Triquez Bridges. At that, Triquez Bridges is a starting corner here. Okay, so you got a guy in Justice Lowe who's a recruit here from Portland, played at Lake Oswego, committed in 2022 class. He's looking to have a big year and try to work his name in the rotation in any way he can. And making plays against the starting corner like Triquez Bridges is awesome. He almost made a highlight reel catch down the field. Just last second, the ball came out, man. If he could have just hung on to it, he would have had a big time play. And I really liked what I've seen from him. Young guys still, like Kyler Casper, right? Keep carrying on here with the young wide receivers. Tyler Casper has a body type that the Ducks just don't have in that wide receiver room. 6'6". That's a big wide receiver, and you've seen his agility and his ability to toe tap. He had that toe tap catch. That was beautiful. Big wide receiver. So if he can continue to develop his skills, continue his route running, maybe get it a little bit faster, I'd love to see what Kyler Casper can do. I was great to meet his family in person as well. They've always been big supporters of the channel and the podcast and stuff like that. So shout out Kevin Casper and his family and stuff like that, man. Meeting those guys in person was great. Freshman tight end Kenyon Sadiq got to show off his speed at the position. We've seen that. We knew Sadiq was going to be a speedster at the tight end position. Got a few yards after the catch. That's going to be really his specialty at that position. He has that Brock Bowers body type that every school's looking for now after, Georgia found that, kind of smaller tight end that can really pass catch and kind of like another receiver basically out there. He's a little undersized, 6'3", 220 pounds, fast and athletic, but he's going to need to bulk up, right? He's going to need to bulk up a little bit, need to develop some pass blocking techniques, especially at the tight end position, okay? And the Dan Lanning offense, you're going to want to have him be able to get out and make some pass catches, but man, you're going to need him to block as well. So especially for freshman tight ends in general. That's just a thing they need to develop. So it's going to be fun to watch Kenyon Sadiq, man. That can be something special. Jamal Hill. Okay, Jamal Hill. Got to talk about him. He changed positions, really looking comfortable at linebacker. He was playing safety. Now he's at linebacker, and he put on a lot of muscle, a lot of weight this offseason. So he's looking the part. Really liked what I've seen him making open field tackles. He's a tackling machine right there. And he's also able to cover. That's the Dan Lanning type linebacker that Dan Lanning's looking for. Okay, when Dan Lanning inherited this team, he had Justin Flo and Noah Sewell. Those are some bulky, old school type linebackers that Mario Cristobal really liked to have on defense. I think Mario Cristobal wants some speedy guys off the edge that can go out and blitz, but also have enough speed on them and leniency to go out and cover, because that's really important at linebacker in today's age and game. I mean, tight ends, the way they're developing into pass catchers and all these electric wide receivers, the more field you're going to have to cover with your guys. And we're seeing that in the game of football. And Dan Lanning's smart. And those are the type of linebackers going for. Would have liked, Devin Jackson. That's another speedy guy I'm going to like to see this year as well. Love these two plays in particular. Right before halftime, okay, we got Bo Nix, long pass to Troy Franklin. I know you guys seen that pass in the back of the end zone. Love seeing that. We're going to see that a lot this season. No doubt. Love that. And then the second one, right after halftime, Ty Thompson hooks up with Tez Johnson. Johnson does all the work, puts on some electric wheels, and goes all the way down the field for a touchdown. And man, that was absolutely awesome. I got both those plays on camera, man, on the vlog. Posted them to my Duck Zone account because those were just awesome plays from the spring game. Loved what I'm seeing there. I liked what I've seen from freshman quarterback Austin Novosad in that second half. Got to see the freshman quarterback, future Oregon, come in, made some plays. He didn't play too much, but when he got in, I liked his mobility, his ability to extend and use his feet to keep making a play. It might have been a little too antsy and would pull the ball a little bit too quick, but I think he should let the play develop a little more. But the more reps he gets, and the more reps and the more the ability is to build an ability to read defenses in college football, he'll only get better. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from Austin Novosad. He has really good size as well, really tall. and kind of reminds me a little bit of a Jay Butterfield and a Justin Herbert a little bit, the way he plays and looks. But I'm excited for him. And in his first play as a Duck, right? It's a completion. That's always a good sign. I always love that when it's like, okay, it's your first play as a Duck ever. What's it gonna be? And it's a completion. So that was good to see from Novosad. If you guys didn't know, offensive coordinator Will Stein and Novosad have had a relationship dating back to Novosad's 8th grade year. So these guys have been like this. He's here at Oregon now for 4 years. OC Will Stein just got here, and it's only going to build up from here. It's going to be great. Novosads will obviously compete for that quarterback one position in 2024 with Ty Thompson as well. So obviously there's a lot of good things I just announced there, but with the spring game, you're looking at the game and you're like, oh wow, man, these guys are killing it, man. The offense looks great, the defense looks great, but you realize, hold on a second, man, they the Oregon team, the Oregon offense has just scored, but the Oregon defense just allowed it. So it's like, it's like it's hard to vote. Who do I vote for here? Because it's Oregon versus Oregon. So there are things that I've seen that we had to work on, and I'll name some examples here. So the defensive backs, okay, the defensive backs, don't get me wrong, they played pretty good at times, but they did get beat. Okay, we're seeing things like last year that they're kind of getting beat. Like we see Triquez Bridges get beat a few times. He's a starting corner. He shouldn't be getting beat. Missed open field tackles. That was a big one. You play that soft coverage, you let the wide receiver catch it, and the whole point of soft coverage is to make that open field tackle. More oftentimes than not, I'm seeing defensive backs kind of miss that open field tackle, and then you let that receiver gain another 5-7 yards up the field. I want to see those DBs get a little better. That could be just spring ball, spring ball. By the time you get to the fall, those things that can get shored up a little more. You want to see guys step up at that DB position as well. You want to see, Christian Gonzalez going to the draft. Shout out to him. He dropped a little bit. We can have another video about that, a little bit about the draft and stuff later. But shout out to Gonzalez being a Patriot. But you want to see a guy in that DB room really step up and try to be a leader after, seeing him leave. Bridges, like I said, got beat a few times as a veteran DB. You're going to want to see him do better. Really liked what I've seen from Tyson Johnson, though. That guy can really lay the wood. Can tackle real well. I like how he reads reads offenses really well. I like Tyson Johnson, guy who had over 100 tackles over at Ole Miss, SEC ball. I think he can make a difference here at Oregon. Also, Kyrie Jackson was getting in there making plays in coverage. That was also really good to see. Young defensive back Cole Martin got in there, definitely made some plays. I think he's going to get some play time this year. He's, the coach's son. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I don't think it's like favoritism, but I just think being the coach's son, you're held to a certain standard, and your father's standards. And he came in, he was the first recruit in this 2023 class, and this dude played really well, making plays all over the field, and he really impressed me. Smaller type defensive back, but man, you can tell a lot of heart, and the kid just goes in there and wrecks havoc. I love it. I think the offensive line played overall okay. Okay, I didn't think they played great, and I didn't think they played horrible. I think they played all right. They didn't allow much pressure. They allowed the quarterbacks to make great throws. Bo Nix, had a lot of open throws most of the time. But there were a few too many false starts for me, especially in the spring game, man. You want to see your O-line develop some continuity, and I get it. It's gonna take time for this O-line, a lot of turnover. It's gonna take time for this O-line to develop some consistency. But I just don't like the false starts. Not much run lanes for the run game to open up either. Okay, the D you could credit that to the D line, or it could be an O line thing. For now, I'm gonna blame it on the O line. Okay, because I think that the O line can let the run game be a little better than it was today. I think this year's offensive line will definitely take a step down from production than last year's team, and that's not knocking this year's O line. I'm not saying they're worse. I'm just saying, okay, last year's team allowed 1 sack in 8 games. Guys, that is literally almost unheard of. 1 sack in 8 games. That is pretty hard to match. So I do think I might see a step down in production just because how good last year's offensive line was. But that's not to knock this year's offensive line. I think this offensive line is pretty new. And they're gonna need some more time and more reps together to reach their full potential, right? And by the time they're in midseason form, I think this team has a lot of depth at O-line and a lot of talent at O-line to be pretty good. Probably one of the best in college football again. Another thing we gotta talk about is there's a few drop passes. Okay, I didn't like the few drop passes that we seen, and that could be with nerves. Some of the drop passes that we seen were freshmen. Jaden Lamar was wide open on a wheel route against Justin Jacobs that he could have caught, and first time in the Duck uniform, playing in a big crowd, and nerves can get to you. And I know Jaden Lamar wants that one back for sure. I interviewed that kid on here, great kid, man. I love seeing what he could do. Kenyon Sadiq dropped one over the middle. Now, Sadiq did make some other good plays, but he did drop one over the middle that I made note of. Did look like he was going to get hit pretty hard by Steve Stevens there over the middle, but and that's fine. It's spring. Don't risk it. Go ahead and drop the ball to avoid injury, right? You don't want to see guys get injured, especially at the tight end position. Really cross their fingers there. But in the game, in a live game, you're gonna want to see him make that catch and just take the hit. You know what I'm saying? So don't really like the drop balls, but there wasn't too many. I'm just trying to find things a little nitpick about. And then another thing, unfortunately, for me, some people say different, but for me, Ty Thompson still doesn't look ready. To be honest, if we're just basing off Judge off the spring game and that alone, Austin Novosad looks more ready than Ty Thompson to me. And I'm pulling for Ty Thompson, man. I like Ty. I was pulling for him when Anthony Brown was the quarterback, and now I see why he wasn't. Now we see why as fans. Still Ty's just still making kind of questionable throws. It's almost picked off early by Cole Martin, and then right before halftime. Okay, his team has a chance to get in the end zone. He throws it across his body, kind of a bad pass, almost interception, and it was almost a turnover. And they had a chance to score. Given if that was picked in the end zone, given Cole Martin picked him off early, that's 2 picks. And I don't want to see that from Ty, man, especially where he's at. He's been here for a few years now. And I get it. He's had different OCs over the years, but man, I really want to see him develop into what we were hoping to see him be. I mean, this was a borderline 5-star kid coming out of high school. I want to see his ability to read a defense before the snap develop a little better. It seems like he's kind of just throwing it into the wrong area of the defense a lot of times, and kind of gets on my nerves. Kind of don't really like it, but man, just gonna have to be patient with him. Just gonna have to be patient. Had a really nice touchdown over the top to Chris Hudson. Okay, so it wasn't completely awful. He made some good throws. Chris Hudson beat Brian Addison down the field. A really nice hustle of Brian Addison to get back down the field and make that tackle. But, and he also had a really nice pass and catch to Tez Johnson. But I just got to be honest, Tez Johnson made a lot of that play. Okay, it wasn't like Ty made a beautiful pass like it was to Chris Hudson. So I'm really pulling for the kid, Ty Thompson, man, to develop into his full potential. I've seen his high school highlights when he's got his full max confidence. I don't know where his confident level is after coming off last season. He's still on the team. I think he believes he still has a shot after next year. And if he can develop under another year at Knicks and just keep developing, maybe get his confidence up. Maybe he has a good game. Maybe, cross our fingers this doesn't happen, but Bo gets hurt and Ty comes in for a game or something and has a good game. Maybe that gets his confidence up for next year to be our starting quarterback. But just really hoping that Will Stein, the offensive coordinator, can get him there, man. He has a shot at that QB1 position next year for the Ducks if he decides to stick around. And I'm gonna love to see it. I really was hoping to see some really good plays from him this spring game. He had a lot of opportunities. He played pretty much the whole spring game. I think the coaches were really looking at him. And if I had to give him a grade 1 through 10, I'd say a 6, maybe 6.5 out of 10. I mean, he didn't play horribly, but there's a lot of room for improvement. And you'd want to see him, from what we were told with him coming out of school, we're going to want to see him make that jump for sure. Overall, guys, man, what an amazing spring game, man. Amazing spring game. 80 degrees. It's absolutely, absolutely beautiful weather. All the legends, all the Duck legends in town. Family and friends all around. Couldn't have been better for my first spring game. And I honestly want to say thank you to everybody who I met, who, sees me out there, says what's up, takes pictures, and we have conversations. It's always great. I love you guys, man. I liked how the defense showed up, made it tough for the offense. 23-20 final score. That's a pretty good final score. I like that. That shows that it's a pretty balanced team. I was hoping to see a good defensive game where the offensive just doesn't, I don't want to see just offense the whole time. And we got that. We got a little bit of defense. We got a little bit of offense. So that's great. This event is always fun for families and recruits, man. Great recruiting event. A lot of guys on campus. Wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some commitments come through the next few weeks. We always do after spring games. We always do. It's always a big time recruiting event for Oregon. A lot of the talent and depth on both sides of the ball we just need a little more reps and practice to get this thing really going. Okay. Offense, there's a couple, especially on that O-line, a couple false starts that I didn't like. And then the defense, the corners, I took notes on the corners that just get better one-on-one tackling with the corners, man. If you're going to play soft coverage, you're going to allow the receiver catch the ball short, you're going to have to make that tackle. Otherwise, what's the point of playing soft coverage, right? And then fall ball will be next. Okay, so that's going to be fun. Spring game's wrapping up. Spring's wrapping up. I'm going to go one more month of May doing these recruit interviews. And guys, it's my first time pretty much announcing this. After May, June and July, I'm going on vacation. Okay, I've been doing the Duck Zone podcast for about 16, almost 17 months straight. And it's time for me to get a little summer break. All right. And I know 2 months, it sounds like a damn long time, but this ain't the only thing I do, guys. I also have a full-time job. So, yeah. So I'm going to need a little break, a little summertime break. There's not much news going on with the Ducks. I mean, there's a lot of recruiting going on in the month of June, but July is pretty dead. So June and July for me are going to be some summer break months. And then August, I will be back for fall ball. There'll be more players coming that we didn't see in the spring as well for fall to talk about, to interview, such as players like 5-star wide receiver Jerion Dickey, who I recently interviewed on the channel as well. He'll be here in the fall. He was there during the spring game, and man, I bet he loved it. I bet he's excited to come here in the summer and really get things started in the fall. He's going to be fun to watch, and a couple other guys. And then the transfer portal, right? We might see some transfer additions for the Ducks, so that's a thing to keep our eye on. I'll be covering on the month of May for you guys. Just keep a reminder, June and July, I'll be heading out for summer vacation. And then August, I'll be back again. Shout out the vlog. Guys, got to go see that vlog if you haven't already. The vlog's up on YouTube on the channel right now. Go check it out. Full vlog of the spring game is out now. I really do appreciate everybody for tuning in once again. I'm your host, Dominic Peterson. This is the Duck Zone 503 podcast where we talk all things Oregon football. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button down below. Tell your friends and family about the podcast. As always, guys, go Ducks. I'll see you in the next podcast episode.